go. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. It's the Guru Mama, spiritual love of life coach, astrologer, wanting to bring you 411 of the vibes of the day and craziness of this world and whatever else comes through. So let's get to it. So I was playing a little song there. It's in the background, was called Lofty. Okay. I hate this. It's as soon as I get on here, I gotta straighten myself out. Like if things just went perfectly aligned, like if things just came down here and aligned perfectly, would be nice. But things go off my shoulder. Plus, I guess I've lost quite a bit of weight. Didn't realize I lost weight, but I guess I did. So, good morning, and welcome. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Marion, for joining me on Instagram, and Dana, and Kathy, and little Lexi on YouTube. Thank you, and all those who watch me also on my Facebook. So, what's going on? There's a lot going on, but I was thinking, I was listening to one of my dudes, and he's from California, and talking about how our interest rates have gone up in Canada again. But they're writing bonus checks. I don't know, when you see things like that, it just sort of drives you freaking nuts. Yeah. I want a $20 million bonus check. Why don't we just get the 20 million and split it between all of us? That would be nice. That would be so freaking nice. you know um 20 million, and that's not just to one person. That's to quite a few different people got the $20 million bonus. So in Canada, it's just like you want to bang your head up against the wall and say, what the fuck, you know anyways, with that. But that brings me to where Jupiter is, and Mercury squaring with Jupiter's in Taurus, and Taurus has to do with personal finances and has to do with the financial world. Same with Pluto going back into Capricorn. Capricorn has to do with banking, not so much banking institutions, but institutions, government, things along that line, and schools, hospitals. But it's where you hear all of this. You hear all of this. I was even watching about, the war stuff, and how many, they've already sent the 3,000 troops out, that I was talking about the other day. They've already sent them out. That's only the first line that they've sent out. Those guys are there to get things situated and set up in Europe, before they start sending the rest of the troops out. So things are, these are the other things that are aligning. So we're feeling all these crazy different rumbles, and but what can you do about it? Like that's where my mind goes, is like, what, yeah, I'm hearing all of this, but what do you want me to do, mama? Well, what I want you to do is start some sort of spiritual practice. Really start to get into your own, you know, um meditations. You're, starting some sort of practice. Of course, I'm going to do my little spiel. That's why I'm doing the 40-day uh Satnam, or the 40-day Dharma class. And that starts July 22nd, when Venus goes retrograde. It is a class that we are going to be doing yoga, meditation, and talking about how to bring things into a routine, how to bring in that Dharma, how to bring in your values, what your values are, um, and how to trust that knowing, when you're hearing all of this, right? And even JP Morgan was even talking about shortages of milk, of food, and things like that. And these are things for your own self. What can you do about it? Well, okay, I can stock up on extra beans. I can get, go to Canadian Superstore and get a great big thing of beans and rice in food grade containers, and I have them. So there's a lot of things that you can be doing within all of this energy. And here comes my lovely husband bringing me my brekkie. Yeah, there you go. That's my nutritional breakfast. So I'll just put it over there. Otherwise, I'm going to start eating and while I'm on here. So I'm not going to be too long, because I can smell this. I wish there was smell-o-vision. You guys could smell it also. But it is that these are the things that I've been talking about, and the reason why I continue to talk about it, because they are very prevalent. They're things that we need to be doing for our own self. So, and especially with this new moon that's coming up too. So we have, my mind's going all over the place. I got I got this is the way my mind's working today. I got the economy coming in. I have things to do with, setting up, making sure people are doing their their prepping stuff. And then I have, the new moon energy. So my brain is sort of scattered. And I wanted to tell you about that. I went to a night market yesterday, the witches market, which was it was cool. It was nice. I was surprised to see how many people that were there. I should have filmed it. But I just sort of took that time and connected with some beautiful people I haven't connected with for a long time. It was interesting though, it was interesting because there were some booths that were very bright and very inviting. Other booths were still kind of darkish kind of thing. And that's one of the things that I noticed with the way my energy's turning, or the way I'm starting to move, is that I want to move where there's light, where there's brightness, bring in those colors of brightness. Yes, I understand, like I do like, the dark colors and stuff like that. But it's when you're going out, it's just bringing in, I don't know, just having this light energy, having a welcoming energy. And not saying that some of them weren't welcoming, but some of them just felt very, there was a darkness there. And I know it was a witchy pagan market, and some of them really get into the really witchiness, and then they can get into, we got to have black and we got to have this, and, very, crazy, crazy things. But I look at it, it's like, but there's such a brightness that you could bring into this. And I think that's why I'm really getting prone or getting pulled over to the energies of the yogi, the energies of, doing the Kundalini yoga and bringing that energy more in, because it also allows for your vibration to raise. What are you doing to raise that vibration? What are you doing to raise your energy up up your spine? Or, your spine, if you don't have a fluid spine, if your spine is not moving, then everything else in your life is not moving. There's a stiffness there, right? So you got to have a fluidity I said that very well, a fluidity when it comes to your life and it comes to your movement. And I saw many were very like restricted, wanting to stay in this little box instead of opening up to other ideas, other other, just expanding, just bringing in different expansions, because I find that's so important. It's so important to have that fluidity in your life, to have and bring that brightness and bring that light, especially when when life is chaotic, when you're hearing about the economy, when you're hearing about the food prices and people getting $20 million bonuses and our interest rates are going up, right? So you got to bring in that brightness and that fluidity and allow for that flow to come forth through you, so that you're able to deal with, that you're able to work with the obstacles that come forward, and how you work with those obstacles and work around them, so that you are not continually spiraling down that alley, that you're like, okay, no, I'm going to quantum leap down another alley, or I'm going to move my energy in a different way. And many times in doing that, it's like we want to do the quantum leap, but it is the baby steps in moving, towards what we are wanting to do. And many, who follow me now and that have followed me for many years are like, but oh my God, I'm getting too old for this fucking shit. You know, well, I keep doing baby steps. Where's the quantum leap? And that's what I look at. But I look at my quantum leap is like, yeah, you know what? I've really evolved from where I was from 2020, 2017. I really evolved into how I do my readings, and bringing in the astrology and bringing in different aspects of energies, and bringing in that brightness. And I think that's so vitally important for our light force, so that we can continue on, so that we can continue doing, our light work, our light work is showing up each and every day. Our light work is taking the garbage out. Our light work is caring for our children, our grandchildren. Maybe it's not even if we don't have children or young children, it's helping out with the neighbor, or helping, some relative with children. This is part of the light. This is part of the Dharma. And many of us get really caught up. Well, it's got to be some kind of exponential explosion of something, of unicorns and light or whatever it is. But that's not what it is. It is, even the wise man says, yeah, you can get all the wisdom in the world, but you know what? You still got to go. I don't know why they showed me this. Okay, guys, I'm sorry. You still got to go to the bathroom and take a poop. You still got to wipe your bum. You still got to have a bath. You still got to clean the dishes. You still got to vacuum. You still have to do these things, you know, in your life, right? And that's part of the dharma. That's part of working with the energies. But when we don't take those into account, when we don't take that into account, and we think something else, or we get onto another road, or another, and saying, oh my god, nothing works out for me, oh my god, things aren't, instead of taking that step back and saying, you know what, yeah, I got a lot of great things that are going on in my life. I got a bathroom, yes. I got a roof over my head. I'm able to take the garbage out so my house doesn't smell. I'm able to light the incense and dust, and so my home feels very uplifted and clean. Those things are important, especially within how the energies are becoming more intense, because we have to look at those little steps that we are doing. This new moon is in Cancer. It is, it's a major planetary shifting is happening, because we have this Cancer season, which started on June 21st, and since then we've been collecting insights on how you want to bring a greater feeling and emotional fulfillment and heart resonance into your life and have it work. You've been allowing yourself to feel your emotions and let them show you had how you need to shift and change. And sometimes in letting those feelings in, it's like, this is like really overwhelming, or there's a lot of anxiety that comes up with this, because maybe you haven't been letting your feelings in, or maybe you've been just letting little trickles in. But now it's like, no, you got to allow yourself to feel it. You got to allow yourself to embrace, because embracing that allows you to work with the shadow when the shadow comes in. Work with the things and say, oh my God, I know why this doesn't work. Okay. It's because 6 months ago I wasn't doing this, and this. Now I'm learning from that. So now I'm going to implement that what wasn't, or that what is, that I need to. And with this, this is where, from that full moon that was in Capricorn on July 3rd, that helped us to see where we may have been basing our goals on empty measures. Like I said, seeing, and this could be measuring of success that may have made us look good on paper, money, followers, accolades, but don't actually bring true happiness, right? So you can have all of these things, but if it's not bringing that truth of who you are, right? You can have and look at, oh, I got 1,000 followers, I got 10,000 followers, but how many people are actually following you? How many people actually show up for what you are doing? This is where it's like, no, that's not fulfilling me. What's fulfilling me is doing the little things. What's fulfilling me is showing up each and every day, doing these little blogs, um, becoming more experimental when it comes to shooting things and things like that. Yeah, that's what the fulfillment is, right? And that's what we got to look at. And this moon, the new moon in Cancer, is when we commit in living in harmony with our hearts and our true definition of success. That's a big one. What is your definition of success? Your definition of success is going to be different than other people's definition of success. The guy who got the $20 million, that's his definition of success, but he might have other things that are going on in his life that we don't know about. His bank account might look great, and it might, seem absolutely wonderful, but he might be a miserable asshole or miserable bastard, as my mother would say, you know? So this is where we have to find our heart true definition of success. And we can get very lost in the world on the concepts of what success is supposed to look like. Success is what, it's like, oh, I got to have, this kind of house. I have to own a house, right? I have to own this. I have to have this, or, it's got to, I got to have this type of dog. It's going to be my success kind of thing. These are the types of things that you have to really look at And part of doing that 40-day Dharma of love is like, yeah, we want to look into what is our true definition of success. What is that feeling? And especially, I just find it so miraculous that the Venus is going retrograde on Mary Magdalene's feast day. I love Mary Magdalene. I love her energy and the Gnostic Bible and the information that she, brings forth. And do you know that part of the Gnostic Bible, the first part, I think it's the first, how many pages? I think 7 pages, or there's some pages that have been missing, and they've always been missing. They don't know where they are. So the first part of the Gnostic Bible of Mary Magdalene, part of it's missing. And nobody knows what, so I think that's kind of interesting. Somebody knows. Somebody somewhere knows. It's probably somewhere in the archives of the Catholic Library down there. But this new moon, this energy, or this, with Venus going retrograde and the nodes are changing, tomorrow as well. This new moon begins on Monday, which incidentally is a day, Cancer, or the moon, rules Monday. So take, some time to be alone with yourself and tune into your heart's desires. Take some time, and I'm going to be writing this out for people and putting it in my blog. But this is when we are moving into one signature growth spurt of 2023, and Pluto, the planet of transformation and rebirth, is squaring off to the north node in the future destiny and the south node of the past karma. This is major turning points when we simultaneously letting go of old blocks, preparing to anchor into a new version of our reality. The astrology, we often hear about there being big shifts and changes, and pretty constantly, including times of letting go, times of welcoming, and especially lately because of so many planetary movements that we've never lived through in our lifetime, like are new to us, and they haven't been around since 1840 or 1776, or even going back to King Henry VIII's time, right? So these energies and shifts that are coming in, this is, that they're huge. And this one is another one. This is the granddaddy power force of them all. So basically, our lives are changing in big ways over the next few weeks. And you're probably feeling it. And some of you will be feeling it within your hara. Your hara is just below your belly button. So you're going to be feeling that energy right in there, right? And that energy is going to, it could be rumbling. It could be, it's just a knowingness that something's coming, something's turning. I just don't know what it is. So that could really, kind of throw you off. It could make you feel like you want to hide away. But this is a time like, no, this is a time where we come in and we do the breath work. One of the things with Kundalini is that we extend our arms with our thumbs and like this, and then we go at a 60-degree angle, close our eyes with eyes pointed up to third eye, and we do breath of fire. And in doing that, I'm not going to do it too long because I don't want to snot you all up. But in doing that, you're releasing a lot of toxins. Another one is, when we do the panting, you hang your tongue out and you pant, and that relieves a lot of toxins. And sometimes people get a bitter taste on their tongue. Some people get a salty taste. So that's releasing a lot of things that your body has, right? So, and in doing that, so we're feeling this. So what is it that you do to release this? And, some people are like, well, I go play sports, or I go for a walk, or, I do this, I do that, so there's different things that people do. And my challenge is try and do something different that you've never done before. Try and sit there and do something that you haven't done before and change it up, because this is what this energy is. It wants you to change things up, because in changing things up, it's preparing you for when other things are going to be thrown your way. If you're continually doing things because that's the safe way of doing things, and that's the way you've always done it, then when things kind of shift you out and throw you out, it's like you're not prepared for it. You're wanting it to be the same way, but this is really wanting to shift you in big ways. So our lives are changing in big ways over the next few weeks, as I said. So this is a good time to remind you it is safe. It is safe to change. You are allowed to evolve. You have full permission from the universe to say, yes, it's okay to do these shifts. It's okay to try something new. And all the divine flow to take you where you're meant to go and help you become, who you were meant to become. This is going to help you with these baby steps that we're doing. It's a full, it's uncomfortable at first because it's different and it's evolutionary, right? So this energy that's coming in is evolutionary, and it's going to make you feel like shit. It's going to be like you like, oh, it's supposed to be so wonderful. Evolving is supposed to be so beautiful. No, well, not really. It's like trying. It's like you're shedding your skin. You're shedding the old. You're letting go, and it's like a snake. It's a snake goes in between. If you've ever seen a snake shed its skin, especially bigger snakes, they go between rocks, and because they want to get all of that off so they can grow, and that's what we're doing, right? We're growing. We're expanding. And there's, Monday, it's not only that Pluto is squaring the nodes until August 3rd, one of the most powerful signature events of 2023, but we are becoming challenged to look at where we still are holding on to attachments and where what keeps us stuck. The reason why it's so long of a square is like Pluto's fucking slow, and so are the nodes. They don't move very fast. So before we can move forward, there are our fears, and this is going into a Aries. Aries is fire, it's passion, it's the spark. It wants to get you going. And if you've been sort of sitting there on the sidelines and not doing anything, it's going to get you to face things. It's going to get you to face things that have been stuck patterns that need to be released. And this is where you really have to be careful. And I'm going to stress that careful, because with Mars in Virgo opposing Saturn in Pisces and coming in and opposing Neptune, and this is a 7-week cycle within this cycle, that means that he's going to be bringing up some energies, because the Virgo wants to get everything done now, want everything perfect, got to do it now. And this is the energy of saying, no, you got to come into that flow. You got to come into that peace. The procrastination and getting lost in existing ideas or sudden whims this is a deterrent of carrying things forward with smaller. Like if you're getting into a procrastination, oh, I can't do it, I can't. It's like you're going to find that it's going to hold you back. It's going to cause more anxiety, right? And especially with Mercury squaring Jupiter. And this is like because it's like, I want to do these things, I want to get these things. Mercury's in Leo. I want to get out there, and of course Jupiter wants to expand it, but Jupiter's in Taurus. It's going to take some time. Because Taurus is not fast moving. If anybody's seen a cow, cows don't move fast. If anybody met a Taurus, they don't move fast. They move on their own timeline. You're not going to make them move any faster, because they just don't. And if you try, they can get very bitchy. So don't even try. So this is where, you're going to see that there's going to be distractions and a million different ideas and people and projects, which can derail your schedule and make it so that you don't, that your day doesn't quite go to plan. So things can, go all over the place, and that could be that can bring up that frustration, especially with Mars. Well, I got to get things organized. I got to get things going, and we could just feel like very like, I don't want to do it, and then we go and hide. And that's where also, especially with Neptune coming in, is where you can get lost, and you can get lost and say, no, fuck it, I'm just going to go have 2 glasses of wine. I'm just going to go, roll a joint and just going to go sit there and meditate. I'm going to advise not to. I'm going to say, maybe don't use that as an excuse. Don't run out and go roll your joint. Don't run out and just pour your glasses of wine or whatever it is. This is where it's like, no, I need to really feel this. I need to step into this energy. And then stepping into the energy is going to allow me to release it, right? And this beautiful, powerful new moon, the moments of focusing your intention on what would most like to create or create, I'm going to say, or manifest next. Whether it's a feeling, a project, a commitment, a new way of living or working. For me, it's like, wow, okay. I was just looking at some beautiful apothecaries. I always love apothecaries, right? You're married to a Taurus. This is like, and looking at it, I'm just like, okay. And I know how much it is to cost, how much it is to build a store or whatever. It costs a lot of money. You have to have money behind you. Like, I would never just open a store nowadays, like just to open a store, if I didn't have a substantial amount of money in the bank. That's the way it works. You have to have something, but might take you some time to build that up. Maybe there's things that you have to start gathering in order to do that. And, there's different ideas that are going through my head like crazy, that I want to start creating. And what does that creation look like? What is it that I want to start creating? And bringing that part of that spiritual energy in with it, and the things that I love to do. So this is like, okay, can I do this overnight? No, this is going to take some time. This is going to take some creation. This is going to get me to get out and do things, and like, go out and look at maybe different stores, different places. It's getting out. It's not staying in, it's getting out, doing things, moving in different ways. And yeah, it is a lot of energy. It is, because it's getting you to do things in a new way. It might even get you, because of where Uranus and Taurus are, because Taurus is inflation. So this is with Taurus, you're going to see over the next year, with him being there, that things are going to get inflated. Prices are going to get high. Things are going to get high, right? So other things in your life can get high. What do you want to inflate in your life? What do you want to create in your life? Because the other part too is Uranus is that god of change. He wants to change things up. He wants to bring you something good. He rules Aquarius. So it's like, here it is. This is air. What else do you want to create? It is the air. What do you want to pull in from with Pisces, the ether, the air? What do you want to create? It's sword, it's action. So this is like looking at it, write it down, write these ideas down, get them down into a notebook. That's what I've been doing. I got to get some new notebooks, because I want to have different notebooks for the different things I want to write, because I write it all in one and then I can't find what I just wrote. So it's just a lot. So this is part of the energy. This is the activation. And for me, I'm going to be 60 this year. You can get caught up in old routines of, well, I used to do it this way, or we had to do it this way, or I've always said, no, fuck that. Fuck it. Yeah, I might have done it that way, but I want to try something new. This is why I'm doing this intensive Kundalini course with this energy of this one person that at first I didn't align with him. I just felt like, he's a lot. Then I saw his chart and I realized why. He's got Mars on his ascendant. I went, fuck yeah, you're so intense. And here's me. Because I come in with intensity and he's intense, and it could be right. So it's understanding that, like, yeah, okay, now I understand. Now I respect your energy. I get your, especially when he's doing breath of fire and shit. Like, I get it. I get it. So this is so important. It's understanding. It's like, why am I not connecting? Oh, I love to go with the flow with these other beautiful yogis and stuff like that, or meditations, and they're so nice and they're so flowing and they're very fairy like. Oh, I love that. It's great. I'm flowing. Here comes this Mars energy. It's like, no, we're heading on, we're doing it. And if you're not used to that Mars energy, it's like, here, we're going to go. Because for many people, I'm intense. I'm not, like typical airy fairy type of energy. I can be very tense. I can be Mother Earth. I got the dragon within me, right? So this intensity can be a little overwhelming for people, right? And plus in my chart, I got a lot of Scorpio, and this is where you look at that intensity, you look at where that intensity is, and okay, and just this is also teaching me how to redirect my energies in a more softer, loving way, and not be afraid of it. along with my Mars, right? Writing stuff. I like that with writing stuff down and then can't find it. It's so true. So this is part of this energy, and this is like the best time to start something new that is divinely inspired. This is it. This is the divinely inspired energy with this new moon. So we have this, and this is going to be with us until August. So again, for those who want to join me for the 40 days, and I know many of you are in financial straits, or you're in financial, I'm finances, I understand. I get it. I get that people have, you know, they're trying to, grab Peter to feed Paul to give to Mary, kind of thing. So this is where I do have payment plans if you want. There is, because I want to create a community. I want to create this energy for things to do. So for people to come in, and right now it's online. I mean, because that's my other idea. Is like I want to have some sort of studio or something, but I don't necessarily know where that is or where I'd like to put that. And I don't know. I don't know. I got yeses and nos in my head all over the place. But there's also other things that I want to add into that, you know, um, with doing something, and it has to do, with um, I don't know if it's a consignment shop and bringing in different clothing and consignments and stuff like that, and also doing where you have my apothecary, and of course I love coffee, so bringing something else in with that. But who knows, this is like, these are ideas that are coming in, and I'm writing them down and seeing what they look like. And and you could get fearful of when you're doing that. You're like, oh my god, I can't do that because I don't have any money. I can't do that, I don't have money. Oh, that's a dumb idea, I can't do it, I don't have any money. You're putting the roadblocks up before they even happen. And this new moon is bringing in the inspiration. It's getting you to move. If you've always sat in one place, sit in another place, right? It's getting you to, or the one place that you always sat, guess what? The chair got broken and you can't sit there anymore. So now you're forced to look into a new place. That's part of the energy as well. It's gonna make you go into another place. And you're like, I don't want to go over there. I don't want to do that. It's like me going to the market by myself yesterday. It was like, oh, well, Steve doesn't want to go. He's had, a busy day. So I'm just like, oh, okay, well, hell, Cynthia's there. I'm going to go see Cynthia. Yay. Oh, okay. Ron's there selling his beautiful crystals. Okay. And then I ran into Sandra. Like, oh my God, I haven't seen her for so long. And there's so much that has happened for her and transformed for her. And she did a little mini reading for me. I signed up for a little mini reading. Don't do that very often, but in trusting in that energy, because she's just such a brightness. She's so beautiful. So stepping in and doing something like that, I just stepped out of my comfort zone, right? Walked around. There were people there. I gotta say, at the market, they won't see this probably because they don't follow me anymore. There are people there that had attacked me, that sent shit at me, that when my husband had to come on, when I on one of my YouTubes, to defend me, because I have studied voodoo and stuff like that, and told me I can't do it because I'm too white, and I'm white whatever, because I'm a white woman and all this fucking bullshit. I'm just like, oh my god, oh my god. And they were there. They were there. One couldn't even look at me, and I just smiled. I said hi to them all, and I didn't have any feelings towards them. I just thought it was funny. I just thought it was hilarious. And that's the whole thing. That's where, you're going to go into places, and you're going to see the devil. You're going to see that energy there. And I'm going to call it the devil because a lot of those people were devils, or are devils. And it's just like, there was a lot of, different places that were like, you guys are kind of dark, you know. Um, but that's fine, because I know I'm going to walk my walk, and I've always walked my walk. And if people don't like what the fuck I do, it's not going to be the first time people don't like what the fuck I do. or want to criticize me or chop me down in some way, because that's what the devil does. And that's part of this energy too, is that if you are feeling like you can't go anywhere and you're just so anxious and you're just like, I can't do it, oh, it's too much. Okay, what can you do? What are the things that you can do that are in your toolkit that you can start bringing out? Number one, what can you start bringing out? What can you start creating? Because that's very important, right? When people tell me, like, and I've had quite a few, oh, this is like crazy energy, and mama, you're telling me about the war, and now I'm scared about the war. Yeah, the war is happening. Yeah, it's inevitable. But that's the thing, is that, but out of that, this is how I look at it. If you go into the history of World War II, how many communities and people getting together to help one another came out of that? How many people learned how to be resourceful and became stronger and brighter from it? The war is horrible. Like, the war is fucking horrible, right? Garden and hatching chicks so I have food. Yes, Jen. You know, it is like people die. It's a slaughterhouse. But the thing is, human beings, the way that we learn, the way that we evolve is through hardship, through something horrific. If it was all beautiful, scrumptious blueberries on top of your ice cream and scrumptiousness of rainbows and all of that, you wouldn't grow, you wouldn't evolve. If you didn't have to go out and weed your garden, if you didn't have to go and clean the chicken coop, it'd be like you wouldn't appreciate the chickens. You wouldn't appreciate the eggs of the baby chicks that are coming in, that are going to be the KFC chickens, right? You got the KFC chickens, you got the hatching chickens. This is appreciation, and learning how to appreciate it, and learning how to use those tools, and just understand and say, and call in. Also call in your light. What do I need to do? I got to call in my light. Maybe I need to bring in some holy basil tea and start drinking some holy basil tea. What else do I need? Oh, maybe I need some L-theanine. Okay, because my mind is scattering, so I need some L-theanine. And what is L-theanine? It's a amino acid within the brain that we use up when we get stressed. There's different things that we can start to bring in to help us, so that we're not, that we're still able to focus and be here. It's not where we are wanting to step out and go out of our mind, out of our head, and just sort of blitz out. That's not where the energy is. If you're going to blitz out, you're going to find that there's going to be more rumblings that are going to come in, and there's going to be where you aren't going to be able to do the things that you really, really want, right? Kill them with kindness. So this is where we are at with the energies. And it is bringing in these transformations, but it's making us stronger, and it's making us think, okay, you know what? You might have a lot of fucked up things in your life. You might have a lot of things that you've really screwed up, but you got to, okay, how can I work on this? How can I get out of this? Okay, it's going to be one step at a time. It's not a fast road. This energy is allowing us to push things forward for us to be able to do those things. And in doing those things, that we are going to be able to create that world, create the bitterness. So I'm getting hungry. My food's getting cold. So I'm going to eat my breakfast, and I'm going to send you guys out so much love. Last day for the 15-minute reading. So for $33.33, this is the last day for it. So if you are wanting to buy one, you can buy one. A new reading sale is coming tomorrow, and I will bring that out tomorrow for a new reading sale, and it's only going to be for 1 week. If you are wanting to do the 40-day Dharma of Love with me, starting on July 22nd, let me know. It's $247 for the 40 days. Payment plans are available. All right. So buying another banking tune total, please. Got you down. Okay, we'll put you down for that. We can use them all together then if you want to, Dana. So these are and those who are getting your new moon readings, they will be out either today and tomorrow. So I'm going to be doing them over the next couple days. I'm going to do a couple today. I'm going to do a couple tomorrow. So you're going to get them over the next couple days as well. So just an FYI. So because I'm allowing my energies to flow and not freak out over this, right? So have a fabulous day, everybody. I love you all. Thank you for being a part of my world, just being a part of my world. So thank you very much. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you, and shine your light, and don't let anyone allow you to dim your light, right? So continue shining on. Blessed be. Bye-bye.